the related rates. Your setup on the other problems, the ladder or the shadow would be what? Your similar triangles with the shadow, and your Pythagorean theorem with the what? The ladder. And it would go all the way till you take the derivative all the way through. And then the last part would be getting your answer, would be the plugging and chugging. So we're going to put the last part right here, because if I try to make any of this smaller, it's going to totally cause a cluster. So what is dV/dt? 50 is equal to, you know, I was watching a TV show the other night about a picture of Billy the Kid. Anybody see that?
Oh yeah, the lady like found it in the garage sale.
The guy did, yeah.
The guy, yeah.
And bought it for $2.
Yeah, and then it was worth like.
And it's worth like $5 million.
Yeah.
How many pictures of Billy the Kid are there? One. And it sold for $2.3 million. Why can't I find something like that?
Is he playing croquet in the picture?
Yeah. And he went through like 4 or 5 states and getting face recognition and history to find out who was there and why, and then they ended up finding the house. The house is still there, but there's been, you know, built on and all this other stuff. But anyway, I thought it was very interesting. I'm a history person. I like history, so. Okay, 27 over 64. Now, why am I doing that? Because I don't want to use a calculator. H squared is, what's H? 4? Yeah. 4 is 16. Well, we're going to have to do something else here. Just hold on. dH/dt. Well, this is 4 to the what? 4 to the third, right? So that'd be 3, 9 pi over 4 to the third times 4 to the second over 1. And that knocks this out to 4 to the first. So 9 pi over 4. Yeah. So 50 is equal to 9 pi. What's 9 over 4? 9 over 4 is basically a half, right? Or 2. So I'm just going to put 2 pi. dH/dt. And divide 50 by 2 pi. And that's going to give you 25 over pi. And 25 divided by 3 is 8. So it's going to be around 8. dH/dt is equal to around 8 centimeters per what? Second or 8? Something like that, yeah. What did y'all get? Do the math. What do you get? 7.1?
7.4.
Okay, we got a 7.1 and a 7.4.
You got 7.1.
Okay, 2 7.1s. Anybody got another 7.4? 7.4, 7.4. Going once, going twice. 7.1. Now, does everybody understand where I got the 8? I was just doing it in my head. Question, engineering people. Would you use 8 or would you use 7.1?
7.4.
Engineers always what? Overcompensate. Always. Dang old smokestack pipes. Dang old overcompensation. No, they always do, because you never know when a 300-pound lady is going to walk across the floor. You always overcompensate. If the tensile strength of a beam is 27.2, are you going to use 27.2 or are you going to use 28? 28, because there might be a 400-pound lady walk across there. You know, that's why you always overcompensate. You always round up. Dang on, y'all didn't know that? Y'all are such a disappointment. All right, y'all ready for something new? I'm gonna give you one that y'all can think about. Gravel is being dumped from, y'all seen a conveyor, right? No, like a gravel pit. They do it up a conveyor and then drops off in a pile. At 20 cubic feet per minute. And it forms a pile in the shape of a cone. Where the base diameter and height are equal. How fast? How fast is 25-cent phrase for rate? Is the height height, what are you looking for? Good job. Increasing at 10 foot. In other words, when the pile reaches 10 foot, how fast is it increasing?
You can just pick any number.
Huh?
Or you can pick any number, the diameter and height.
For the what?
Yeah, you
Or the
can. Because you
diameter.
didn't give the height or the diameter, so you can pick any number.
Well, yeah, because they're equal. Or you could just say this. If R is equal to H, then what do you do with H? Plug it in for R. Or vice versa, plug R in for H, whichever. Whichever will make it easier.
Wouldn't R be 1/2 H?
You could do it like that also, yes. Well, it says,
The diameter.
yeah, you could say R, hold on a minute. Hold on. Diameter and height are equal, so 2R is equal to H. So you're right, yes. So there's your related rate right there. 2R is equal to H. there's a shadow of a bird, so y'all can figure out the rate. What's the shadow of the bird? Looks like a woodpecker. No, the height is going to be 10 feet. If that's what y'all were asking a while ago. I don't remember what y'all were asking.
But that's not the height of the whole thing, the height.
They just want to know at 10 feet.
Yeah.
So, we can say 2R, or we know that this distance right here, is equal to this distance right here. Okay, so the height is equal to the what? Diameter. The diameter is equal to 2 what? 2R. We know that we're given dV dt, right? Yeah. So dV dt is equal to 20 blah, blah, blah. So we've got that. That's given. And we know that we're given the height at 10 feet. So we know we got h. And we're looking for dH dt. So we know we've got to use our volume formula and figure out, well, we know the rate. The rate is equal to what? H is equal to what? 2R. So if we divided that, if we solve for R, H is equal to 2R, what would it be? R is equal to H over what?
2.
H over 2, or 1/2 H, right? So volume is equal to 1/3 pi parentheses squared H. And we got 1/2 right here. H is equal to 2R. Therefore, R is equal to H over 2, or 1/2 H. So 1/2 H would go here. So V is equal to 1/3 times 1/4 times pi times H to the third. V is equal to 1/3 times 1/4 times 3 over 1 times pi times, well, the 3 comes out front, that'd be H squared dH dt. And what happens to the 3's? They cancel, Hubert. Thank you, class. So V is equal to pi over 4 H squared dH dt. What'd y'all get? What?
Yep.
Okay, now take the derivative. Oh, we did take the derivative. Now plug and chug. Oh, I didn't. Did I take the derivative? No, I didn't. dV dt. Sorry. I took half the derivative. But y'all were going to catch that, right? Are y'all awake? Are y'all on drugs? I've given up on Georgia. Given up on them. I believe it's about time for a change. I hate to say that, but you haven't said anything about Spurrier.
It's hilarious.
It's not hilarious.
No, I think
It's sad.
Oh, yes, so sad.
There's a little meat.
Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry. I can't get into that.
I just don't
I can't get into hating Clemson and hating South Carolina. I can't get into that.
It's not that I hate it. I don't hate South Carolina. I think it's just funny that he's never had a losing season before in his career and he didn't want to start
I
that.
think his health has to do with it. He can hardly walk. And he had like 2 hip replacements or something.
He walks Augusta just fine.
He what?
Augusta.
He plays golf.
Oh, yeah.
Are you from Augusta?
No, but
Oh.
that's half the reason he came to South Carolina. They told him they'd give him a membership to Augusta. I'm not kidding.
Oh.
He really got a membership to Augusta. That was his selling factor.
Do you know they wrap their hot dogs and stuff in green paper at Augusta during the Open or during the Masters? Everything's wrapped in green. That way, if somebody drops the paper, it'll blend in with the. I've got that straight from somebody that works there. One of my students used to work there. I don't know how it is. Oh, Spurrier.
It was ironic that both USC teams lost their coaches within 48 hours of each other. Spurrier left, and then Sarkisian got fired for alcohol drinking.
Yeah, he showed up to the Arizona State game drunk and was drunk on the plane ride home from the Washington game.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have an addictive personality, but I just don't see how you do that.
Yeah.
Drink, and I know somebody that goes to church and they drink a fifth before they go to church. How do you do that? Not the church part. Just how do you go and drink a fifth? Or I just can't see it. Dang old alcoholic, dang old AA. All right. What's dVdt? 20 is equal to pi over 4 times 10 squared, which is what? 100 dH dt. Okay, y'all might need to get y'all's calculator out because 100 over 4 is 25. So 20 is equal to 25 what? Pi dH dt. Divide by 25 pi. And dang old 4 fifths. 4 over 5 pi. Y'all check me. And 5 times 3 is 15. 4 will go into 16. So it's about 1/4. 0.25. That's approximate. What do y'all get?
That's the
0.26.
Point what?
26.
0.26. 0.26 is your answer. So 0.26 what? Is it feet? Feet per what? Minute. So this much, 0.26 is 3/10 of a foot. 3/10 of a foot is about that. Dang old surveying, we're measuring in tenths. 3/10. Well, no, not like that. Dang old swimming pool. Dang old filling up 3/10 per minute. How you feel? Come on, talk to me.
Good.
Is there any that you are stuck on? Say again?
This or anything?
Any of the stuff that we've covered in Unit 2, excluding limits and difference quotient, which is...
You got 2 points going different ways.
Yeah, I got one like that.
We also do one where theta is changing.
No, I don't like you. Okay. For what?
Theta is changing at a certain rate, so it's like d theta over dt.
I'll see if I can find one like that. I don't know if I got one. This one says, and I'm just going to write it and let y'all draw it, because I can humiliate you more if you do that. It just so happens I brought one like that to go over. At noon, and I don't even know where I got this. At noon, ship A is 100 kilometers west of ship B. Ship A is sailing south at 35 kilometers per what? Hour. What is that?
Right.
Well, it's like dx dt or dy dt, isn't it? Because it's the distance they're traveling in an hour. You could say, it's either like dx or dy, whichever. And ship B is sailing north to Alaska. That's the song. At 25 kilometers per hour. How fast is distance changing between them at 4 p.m. They go 4 hours. Well, the first thing you want to do is draw what? Picture. So some of y'all take about 2 hours for that. I think we did like 8 shadow problems. All I did, y'all stop. And when the first thing you want to do is ship A and ship B, they're pretty much on the equator. Think of the equator. Go this way. And then go the directions you need to go. So, how far are they apart? Well, ship A, we'll do a dot right here. And ship B, what's that distance? 100 kilometers. Okay, so that takes care of. And it says west of ship B. Dang on west, we, don't go left. So here's ship B, 100 kilometers west. Ship A is sailing south. If this is west, then what is south? Dang on. 35 kilometers per hour. And ship B is heading north at 25 kilometers per hour. They want to know that distance. How fast is the distance changing? And you can call that anything you want to, but how fast is the distance changing at 4 p.m.? So noon to 4 p.m. is 4 hours. You're going to use the Pythagorean what? Theorem. And if you want to, just designate, which way do we read? Left to right. What comes first in the alphabet? X. So at 35, I'm going to call that X, and I'm going to call 25 Y. And then what's the line going to be called? The long dash line. What is that going to be called? Z. Now you don't have to do that. You can think of anything you want. I don't care. But that's how I'm doing it. So X, Y, and this distance right here, I'm going to color it red. Which you probably won't do right, but is Z. So X plus Y, quantity squared, plus 100 squared is equal to Z squared, something like that. Because could I, just for imaginary purposes, could I do this? Yeah,
Why would you do that?
to make you think. So you wouldn't say, why would you do that? All I did was, what does two triangles make up? A square. Okay? And two triangles make up a rectangle too, right? So if I take this triangle and I just mentally flip it over, is there anything wrong with that? No, because a triangle, two triangles of the same length and height make up a rectangle. So This is what? X. And this is whatever this distance is right here. I'm just going to put D. Now, what is this distance right here? What is this distance right here?
X plus Y.
Say again?
X plus Y.
X plus Y. Somebody tell me what this distance is right here. Say again? I can't get anything past y'all. And what are we finding? That. All right, get to work. You got your formula now.
Wait, are we finding, why are we finding Z? I thought we were finding the rate of Z or something.
Okay, yeah. And what is, okay. Z is the distance, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the derivative of Z in respect to time? dz dt. And what is dz dt? The rate of Z changing. Come on, Miss Anthony. Sober up. Get off them drugs. So, I'm taking, basically, what did I turn this problem into?